What would happen to Earth if it suddenly stopped spinning? Would we be flung into outer space? Would the ground beneath our feet turn into a fiery pit of doom? Let's find out. You are probably picturing Earth as a solid object that can't possibly stop spinning because it is made of rock and metal, but in reality, it's more like a liquid divided into two layers. The inner core is a solid ball about 1,200 kilometers in diameter, while the outer core is a liquid layer about 2,200 kilometers thick. These two layers are surrounded by the mantle, a mostly solid layer that behaves like a very thick liquid over very long periods of time, and Earth's atmosphere is also kind of like a giant liquid that swirls around the planet. So if Earth were to stop spinning, these liquid layers wouldn't just keep on spinning, they'd slosh, and the speed at which they slosh would depend on how fast Earth was spinning when it stopped. If Earth were to slow down to a halt over the course of a day, its rotational speed would be about one rotation every 23 hours. That means everything on Earth's surface would be moving forward at about 400 kilometers per hour or 250 miles per hour. Over a day, those liquid layers would have enough momentum to keep them spinning at about 800 kilometers per hour or 500 miles per hour. So even though the ground beneath your feet would seem to be standing still, you'd actually be moving incredibly fast. And you wouldn't just be moving horizontally. If Earth were to slow down gradually, the ground beneath your feet would rise up and curve upward, making it feel like you were standing on the inside of a giant bowl. You'd be able to see the horizon about 460 kilometers or 280 miles away after a whole day of this. Earth would be an oblate spheroid, wider at the equator than at the poles. It would look much like a giant water balloon that has been squeezed a bit at the top and bottom. But what if Earth stopped spinning completely and utterly instantaneously? There isn't any real way for this to happen, but for the sake of fun, let's just assume that it did. If Earth were to stop spinning instantly, the ground beneath your feet would suddenly become extremely solid. For a brief moment, you would experience a force about 100 times stronger than Earth's gravity pulling you toward the center of the planet. Luckily, that wouldn't last very long. Eventually, Earth would simply settle into a new state of being a non-spinning planet. Under these conditions, you'd feel like you were being pulled toward the equator. From this new vantage point, you'd see the horizon about 3,400 kilometers or 2,100 miles away. In other words, if Earth were to stop spinning, we'd all get to see a really cool view for a few minutes, then we'd all die. Earth is currently spinning at about 1,670 kilometers per hour or 1,037 miles per hour. That's fast enough to fling a baseball over the entire planet in less than 3 hours. It is also fast enough to make someone standing at Earth's equator feel like they are experiencing a force about twice as strong as gravity, but it turns out we don't notice any of this because we are all used to Earth spinning. Our bodies and the objects around us are all in that same giant liquid Earth, so we're all spinning together. Even though we're moving incredibly fast, we don't feel like we're moving at all. So even though it'd be pretty neat to watch Earth go from a spinning planet to a non-spinning planet, it probably wouldn't end well for us. But there is some good news. Even if Earth did stop spinning, we could fix it. All we have to do is get all the planets in the solar system to spin faster so that their rotational speeds balance out Earth's lack of spin. So come on guys, let's get to work. If you like this video, then check out the series where we answer all sorts of weird hypothetical questions, like what if the President of the United States sneezed in your hand? Or what if a tornado and a hurricane had a baby? Or what if aliens tried to invade the United States?